This is Good Morning San Diego.
Welcome back. The San Diego Mainly Mozart Festival is happening right now, and it runs through the end of June.
Yeah, that may be 80s music, but not this century 80s music. Well, let's go to Brad Perry. Hey, Brad.
Oh, yes, I love that. That is, I'll tell you, classical music you can't go wrong with. It is great for the brain. It's great for everything. And that is where Nancy Laturno Bojanic. I was trying to say it right for her husband, Bojanic. We say it right there, Nancy. You are the director of a great organization. Also, this is the time for you guys fundraising. The music is amazing. Let's talk about what Mainly Mozart does.
Alrighty, for the past 24 years, Mainly Mozart has been producing classical music. We are now in our annual Mainly Mozart Festival that started the end of April and will go through the end of June in venues around San Diego, in La Jolla, Rancho Santa Fe, and downtown at the Balboa Theater.
Yeah, and we're here at the Neuroscience, where actually part of the festival will be taking place here this weekend and continuing on.
That's right. This weekend we have Mozart in the Mind, exploring the music-brain connection. And then we'll continue with chamber music here through June 23rd at the Neurosciences Institute. Also in June at the Balboa Theater, we have our All-Star Festival Orchestra.
Yeah, we're going to get a chance to listen to actually someone from that orchestra. It's going to be amazing to see. And also learn about what's going to be here this weekend because, as we mentioned, music and the mind work together, and it's so important. And that's where also you make sure people get a chance to hear classical music, which is, again, so important to the kids, not just here in San Diego, but across the border, too.
Of course. We reach over 20,000 school children each year in San Diego and in Tijuana with programs in the schools and also bringing the kids to the concerts.
Yeah, and this is like probably sometimes the kids' only chance to actually hear classical music and to learn about it.
Yeah, it often is. And we serve and have for many years served many school children, tens of thousands, actually hundreds of thousands over our years. But this year we're also adding partnerships that will serve autistic children and people with Alzheimer's.
Yeah, and again, music is so important. And what's great about, of course, Mainly Mozart, this is the best of the best coming here and performing.
It absolutely is. This orchestra that takes place on the stage at the Balboa Theater is an all-star orchestra featuring the best players from the leading orchestras around the United States, the concertmasters and principal players from Cleveland, Dallas, New York, Boston, San Francisco. It's an incredible orchestra. You can't hear anything like it anywhere else in the country.
Yeah, and what a great way to mix music and, of course, the neuroscience and the different things that you need to learn about your brain and different stuff. We'll come back and be talking about that, but we're also going to be going in and getting a little cello concert coming up in just a little bit, David and Alexis. And again, it is Mainly Mozart. Did I say it right?
Mainly Mozart.
There we go. I want to make sure I say Mozart right because I'm using my Midwestern accent on it, you know, comparing. I'm like, yeah, Mozart, but it's still the same. It's still great to listen to, and classical music is great for the brain.
Boy, it sure is, and it's so relaxing too, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
It is.
All right.
All right.
This is Good Morning San Diego.
Brad Perry is talking Mozart.
Oh, yes, I am getting a little education in how music in the brain works and also how you can help kids enjoy music with a great fundraiser going on with the festival, which is fun for everybody. When Good Morning San Diego returns right after this.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you? Yes, we are in Torrey Pines. We're over here at the Neuroscience Institute, and we've been talking about a great festival taking place this weekend and great music here, and that is, of course, classical music. It is Mainly Mozart Festival taking place. Nancy's letting us know this Saturday is kind of neat, and this gives a chance to people to find out how music in the mind works.
That's right. It's the launch of a new series called Mozart in the Mind, and we're exploring the music-brain connection with world's leading scientists pairing with Mainly Mozart's world-class artists. It will open with one performance this Saturday night starting at 6:30 with a music brain exposition and the presentation at 7:30.
Yeah, and the next to us is, of course, Ronald Thomas, who's an amazing cellist, who's going to be on Saturday night with you. And we're going to talk to him in just a second. But how do people get more information about Mainly Mozart?
They can call 619-46-MUSIC.
Love it. And you can get the information on there. And, of course, you can go to KUSI.com to find out about the concert. Now, as I turn here to Ronald Thomas, and I get to call him Ron now. Can I call you Ron now?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I get to call you now. This is great. You're actually going to be sitting with a doctor, and you're guys going to be discussing how the brain and music works a little bit.
Well, I think he's going to be telling me and the rest of us how our brains are being affected by what I'm doing. You know, I only know what I feel when I'm playing, but I think we'll get a much better idea of what the science of the whole thing is. So.
And we were talking about some of the things that you guys might be doing, and that's where you might have you play a little different way of hearing music and the way it's played.
That's right. I mean, there are many different ways of playing the instrument, many different sounds we can make, and I think we'll be able to see how these sounds actually affect the individual.
Like, give us an example of like a music sound that might be a little different here and there.
Well, something quite different might be something called ponticello, where you play with the bow but very close to the bridge. Little creepy. Yeah. And then, of course, there's pizzicato, which we see all the time in the guitar, but we also do a lot on the violin, violoncello.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting, just you doing those two different things. There's different feelings. Like you said, the one you play that was kind of scary, and then you play the other one was kind of happy, which is nice. And you actually are going to be performing a little bit throughout this festival too, aren't you?
Yes, well, throughout the festival, I'll be playing chamber music, and I'll be playing in the chamber orchestra, and so I'll be pretty busy.
I love it. Will you play a little bit for us as we're getting ready to go here? Do a little something for us? Just whatever you, a little, take it away. As we're enjoying, mainly Mozart is taking place, David and Alexis. And so I know we're going to maybe a little fitness, so why not a little classical music to get us over to that workout?
For the rest of the show?
I don't know. If I've got to get my core in shape, I'm not sure that's quite this beautiful music, but...
Yeah. Beautiful, Brad. Okay, we'll get more from you in a bit, and we do want to...
A little Mozart in the morning.
It's so relaxing, and mainly Mozart is happening, the festival, right now through the end of June.
Brad Perry joins us from Torrey Pines, the location of the day.
Yeah, and you know, we are learning so much, and you guys are playing a little classical there, but I have my own right behind me, Ronald Thomas. Go ahead and play a little bit as we are talking here. And we're talking about, of course, you said it, the Mozart, the mainly Mozart festival that's taking place, but I got to bring in this gentleman, Tim, here, because on Saturday, you guys are actually going to be part of a display and part of an exhibition that's going to be happening out in the courtyard, which is kind of neat. And that's where you guys are taking brain waves and working on that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So, I mean, this is sort of kind of this Mozart the Mind festival theme, you know, connecting scientists to artists to musicians to try to explore connections between those. So we're going to be doing a bit of that out there on Stephen Pretzman, who's a, you know, acclaimed composer and musician, but also on audience members so they can see their own brain in action while they're listening to music. Yeah,
and as we're seeing what you have, what is this right there you guys been working on here?
Yeah, so this is a wireless EEG system that's essentially recording brain waves. So there's neurons in his brain that are firing, and we're recording the signals on the surface of the scalp. And this is developed by C.T. Lin and colleagues at NCTU in Taiwan, as well as here at UCSD. And what we're doing here is producing an algorithmic reconstruction of the connections between these signals that are emanating from his brain. So here you're seeing a representation of essentially a network of activity that represents a network that's in his brain right now as he's listening to music.
Yeah, and what was kind of neat is that when we were listening to the classical music, we saw things stop firing kind of in his mind.
Right,
That's something you guys do research on and see how music does affect the brain.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly. So, we would like to see what kinds of changes occur in the brain as you are engaging in different tasks, as you're listening to music, maybe as you're going to different emotional states. How does the brain change? And can you use that not only to understand more about how the brain works, but to actually aid in creating new types of artistic forms of representation and so on and so forth.
So love it. And you can get all that and more with the Mozart, mainly Mozart Festival going on. And Nancy, very quickly, all that takes place when?
The festival runs now through June 23rd with concerts here at the Neurosciences Institute in La Jolla, at the Balboa Theater downtown. And Saturday night is Mozart in the Mind. Tickets are available by calling 619-46-MUSIC.
I love it. And the info's up right now. And then, of course, this Saturday, you'll be able to enjoy all this going on, especially with Ronald playing behind us, some stuff with Dr.
Dr. Ani Patel here on the stage of the Neurosciences Institute. The event starts at 6:30.
Love it. So there you go. And the more information will be on KUSI. We think that, and I'll tell you, Dave and Alex, I learned a lot here about music and how important it is, and of course what mainly Mozart does, and that is of course making sure not just kids here in San Diego, but of course across the border, be able to enjoy and hear classical music like it should be done with every kid. It's amazing. Again, the Mainly Mozart Festival puts the best of the best artists together in an orchestra to play, so you got to check it out at Balboa Theater coming up. And that one is when? When's that one?
That is June 6th through 16th. The All-Star Festival Orchestra featuring principal players and concertmasters from the nation's leading orchestras at the Balboa Theater.
We love it. So David and Alexis, classical music soothes the beast, as they say, huh?
Well, don't let us go without listening a little bit longer then. We want to soothe our beast.
Let you keep listening to this while we reveal our location of the day. It's Brad's spot in Torrey Pines.
I'm feeling my beast soothed. How about you?
And you can too. Win $1,000 by registering at KUSI.com. And when we call you today, just say Torrey Pines and the money is yours.
Simple as that, $1,000, and then we'll put you on TV and talk about where you're going to spend it.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to be right back here tomorrow, 5 a.m. We hope you'll join us for that.
Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.